Welcome everyone to the second masterclass of Reclaim Your Power Healing Immersion. Yesterday, I talked about the Empower method, which is the step-by-step process, including lots of different energetic techniques and mindset tools that I shared with my clients after years of practice and having learned about many different healing disciplines and modalities. It's kind of the step-by-step process I follow. So yesterday we covered we started working on how to get clarity on your vision, so the life you truly want to live, as opposed to the one that maybe you have been programmed to live, or conditioned, or maybe the life you think it's possible because what you've been told. So we did a lot of journaling, we did a lot of self-reflection exercises, visualizations for that. So that will be the first step of the Empower method. First, you get clarity on your vision, sense of direction. Then we identify the hidden blocks. So any limiting beliefs, any parts of yourself that might not be on board with the idea of your big vision. And the third step is we step into our power and we give space to those parts of ourselves that carry the wisdom, the inner power, or our talents, our skills, our essence, what makes us unique, what the shamans call the grace. Right? So I always share the example of a garden. So if you want to do something with your garden, the first thing you think of is, right, what do I want to do with it? Do I want to have a table and chairs for a barbecue? Do I want to plant lots of flowers so it looks very pretty? Do I want it to be very practical and plant and grow fruits and veggies? So you have a vision of what you want to do. Then the second thing you do is you do all the weeding, all the weeds, all the dirt, all the bits of dry earth or soil that are not serving you any longer. You clear that, you get rid of that. And then the third step is you plant the flowers or the fruits of the veggies, or you go and buy the furniture. You nurture the plants, you water them, the grass, if you want to have a really nice area, maybe to lie down and sunbathe. So with healing and personal growth is a very similar idea. So yesterday we focused a lot on building the vision. If you watch the recording, you will see that there are lots of exercises waiting for you to help you with that. And we started identifying the hidden blocks. And I also talked about tapping, or emotional freedom technique. You've probably seen this healing technique where people tap on their face and different parts of the body to clear those energetic blocks and to bring the energy flow to the body, unprocessed emotions, trauma, old beliefs, anything that is stuck in the body. So we focused on that. Now, like I said yesterday, sometimes with tapping or with other healing modalities, you can bring the emotional intensity down. You can bring the anxiety levels or any strong emotions that might be coming up to the surface. So for example, if you feel really stuck in one area of your life, in relationships, let's say, for example, and you always get very triggered and you feel like the same pattern repeats again and again and again, you can bring a lot of the emotional intensity down. But at the end of the day, if there is a pattern that keeps repeating, very likely there's going to be a deep core belief that that is running the show for you. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go really deep into understanding the root cause. And then the third stage will be, which we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to be focusing on that tomorrow. Is all about our our grace, unlocking our essence, our true self, our power, connecting with our intuition, with our higher self, with our soul, our purpose, our mission here on earth, whether that's a big project that is going to impact lots of people or just a lesson that we need to learn. And that's what we're going to be focusing on tomorrow. But today we're going to be doing a lot of work with the subconscious mind. So we're going to still be focusing on the weeding part of things. Because if you want to achieve long-lasting results when it comes to healing and transformation, we have to go deep into the root cause. And I know that a lot of people say, yeah, but I don't want to be talking about the past and I don't want to be thinking about, what happened. And I understand it, because especially if you've only tried something like talking therapy and you just talk about your problems again and again and again, it can be heavy. It can be daunting. It can be not a very enjoyable process. I totally get it. But the truth is that everything, if you feel stuck, every area of your life where you might feel stuck, or every pattern that keeps repeating, it happens for a reason. It's there for a reason. There is no lack. There is something probably in your subconscious mind, because we don't make these decisions consciously, obviously, that is running the show for you. So for example, lack of confidence might be based on some negative feedback that you received at school from a mean teacher, or problems in relationships could be rooted in the role models you had and what you were exposed to, and what you saw and how you saw your parents treat each other. Unexplained anxiety or fear or panic could have the root in a very traumatic event that hasn't been healed or processed properly. So there is always something to track, a moment where we made this decision, or where the energy flow was disrupted, or where we made a disempowering belief. Because as we experience different events, we make decisions about ourselves, about others, about the world, especially when we're kids. We're like a sponge, literally like a sponge. And same as we can learn lots of languages at the same time, we pay attention to what's going on, to our parents. We listen to what our teachers at school say. We listen to the TV, to the mainstream media, to social media, and we start making decisions. And especially when there is a traumatic, and when I say traumatic, it doesn't need to be a big T trauma event. Like it could be abuse or a car crash or violence. It could be what we call small T traumas. It could be just a small your parents neglecting you during a short period because they were very busy. It could be a moment at school where your friends laughed at you. It could be a relationship, someone that broke our heart. It could be it could also be situations like that. And when we make these decisions, when that happens, when these events happen, we make decisions based on survival. And normally, you probably have experienced that most of the limiting beliefs, they all come from an instinct to protect ourselves, right? Because these disempowering decisions we make are based on survival. Because as a kid, what do you need to survive? Food on the table, roof over your head, a bit of heat, someone to take care of you. So we make these decisions based on how we can best survive. And we learn to please others. We learn to be quiet so our parents don't argue. We learn to please our mom or dad so they don't have a go at us. We learn our needs are not important or not priority if we are neglected, because we have to train ourselves for the world and to survive in this difficult world or unsafe world. And these decisions go straight to the subconscious mind. So very often, very, very, very often, we don't remember these decisions and we don't do it consciously. If you feel stuck, for example, in relationships, or like you're sabotaging yourself at work or your own business. We don't do this consciously. We don't want to make our lives miserable, do we? But those decisions were there based on a survival mechanism, and now we carry them like programs installed in a computer. So same as your laptop has a lot of programs that you don't see. So today I'm doing this session and I know I have Zoom open because I'm recording the session to upload it later. I have Insight Timer. I can see myself moving my hands. I can see your comments. I can see your hearts and your faces. That's cool. I have no idea what the laptop is doing in the background, and all that coding and all those, God knows what, like characters, numbers. I wouldn't even know how to read it, but they're there. The programs are there operating in the background. And our beliefs, whether they're positive or limiting, do the same. They run the show for us. So some of these beliefs and some of these decisions that we make when we're very young are very positive and empowering. If you were exposed to a very loving and nurturing and empowering household, for example, and your parents were like that, maybe you're a very confident person, outgoing, and you feel safe in relationships, you don't have any problem making new friends, but if what you were exposed to wasn't so encouraging and so empowering and so loving, maybe the decisions, aka the programs that are running the show for you, are not so empowering. They might be a bit limiting. So if you feel stuck in an area of your life, like always experiencing the same unpleasant emotion, like for example in relationships, like it's always the same pattern, I always end up feeling the same way, or at work they always treat me badly, they never value me, every time you hear it's always the same, it happens to me again and again, very likely there is a deep subconscious belief running your life in the background and attracting these situations. Now, the good news, because this sounds like a curse, right? Like, oh my God. So what happens if I went through a not very empowering and loving childhood? Now I'm messed up for the rest of my life? No, absolutely not. We can always rewrite the story, because what matters is the story that lives within us, the narrative we tell ourselves. That's what matters. In the same traumatic event, two people, if one doesn't process it properly or heal it properly, the narrative can go on. I think I'm a victim, I'm not lovable, I'm never going to be successful, I'm going to be poor. And someone else, if they decide to reframe the narrative, to heal the emotions, to heal the trauma, to release the stagnant energy, the unprocessed emotions, the fear, the sadness, the guilt, whatever it is. And if they decide to rewrite that story and to make a different decision, it doesn't need to be impacting their lives. So what matters is not the events we were exposed to. What matters is not what our parents said or how they treated us. Obviously, that's going to have a huge impact on you as an adult, right? But it's not a curse. And it doesn't mean that you can't change it. The narrative, the stories, the beliefs, which is what matters, the programs that run the show, we can uninstall them and install new ones at any time. Now, doesn't mean that it's done like this by clicking the fingers, but this is what these 3 days are all about. And actually, yesterday we talked about the law of attraction. When we were talking about building our vision, we were talking about, manifestation techniques, which is it's all very fashionable these days, and all this, and you might see like lots of different gurus sharing different manifestation techniques and the ultimate experience. And you have to visualize it this way, and you have to repeat it out loud this number of times, and you have to write the details. No, you have to see the colors. No, you have to do a headstand and visualize it that way, whatever that is. And the reality is that it doesn't matter what manifestation or a vision board or visualization technique you use. If there is one of these programs that goes against that vision, it's never going to happen. It's like if I'm trying to join Insight Timer to be with you here, guys, but I don't have the software installed. I can try and I can speak to the camera and I can, grab my microphone but if that program is not available or is out of date and is not compatible, I'm never going to be here with you guys. So it is exactly the same. The idea is to rewrite all those stories, because if there is one of these hidden blocks, one of these subconscious beliefs that don't agree with the vision, doesn't matter how many manifestation techniques you use, how many affirmations you say out loud, in silence, subliminal, they're not going to work. They're useful. They're going to accelerate the process, but only if your main software, if your main set of programs is aligned with that vision. And we also talked a lot about how what matters is not the vision so much, but the energy you come from and the state of being you're in. So yesterday I kept saying, okay, so that's the vision. Now don't think about the goals, don't think about what you need to get there, don't think about the steps, don't think too much about the details or how that could materialize. Think about what's the state of being you need to be in. So the only possible outcome of that state of being is your vision. And by state of being, I meant your vibration, what type of energy, what type of emotions, what type of attitude, what mindset, what beliefs, what do you need to believe about yourself or about others or about the world? So your vision becomes the only possible outcome. Because you're so in resonance with it, because you're in that state of being. So you don't have to worry about manifestation techniques. You don't have to worry about chasing a goal. You focus on being in that state of being, and as a result, you become a magnet for that dream life or a big vision or next steps, whatever it is that you see for yourself. And a big part of that state of being is the programs, the subconscious program that are running for us in the background. So for that, to uninstall and reinstall these programs, we need to really work with the subconscious mind. I can be talking here for hours. We could sit in a 3-hour-long therapy session or coaching session, and we could analyze, the limiting belief and where it comes from and how it's blocking you and how it's blocked you before, and practical steps that you could do to go around it. But we will be working from here, from the conscious mind. And to achieve deep and long-lasting results, we need to speak to the subconscious mind, which is what we're going to be doing during the rest of this session. So we're going to start now with the fire ceremony. So if you didn't join at the beginning, if you weren't here before, if you have it handy, grab a small candle. Well, I'm going to explain all of it in a second. But yeah, basically the idea is that what we're going to do during the rest of the session is that we're going to be speaking with the subconscious mind. So any form of ceremony has a lot of power, and especially a fire ceremony. Fire represents rapid transformation. So when you see fire turning something into ashes, that's really, really powerful. The brain, the subconscious mind, is understanding that there's something going on. Images are the language of the subconscious mind. So rather than rationalizing and trying to talk about it, we're going to do some breathing, first of all, to get us into a nice relaxed state, especially after me blah blahing for 25 minutes. Then we're going to do the fire ceremony to set intentions and to start bringing our awareness within, away from the conscious mind and more into that deeper state of being. And then I'm going to lead a Theta healing meditation to rewrite one of the stories. So if you were here yesterday and you identified an area of your life that you want to work on, anything you used during the tapping session we did that you feel that has a deeper root cause, I also mentioned to make a list of all the stories and events that you think that might still have an impact or emotional intensity still to this day. You can choose one of those. If you have something in mind that you want to work on, you can focus on that for the rest of the session. If not, it's okay, because we're going to be setting intentions and we're going to be allowing whatever needs to come to the surface to present itself in a way that is in the best and highest way for you. So having said that, for the fire ceremony, what I have is a small candle. Also, if you can have either toothpicks like this or small pieces of paper. I'm going to explain what we're going to do with that in a second. And of course, a plate where you can put, while you're burning the piece of paper, where you can put it and where you can put it out. Of course, if this is not safe to do where you at, you can also just set intention. So you don't need to do the candle thing for it to work. I really like it. The effect is really, really, really great. But you don't need that. You can also just set intentions with the rest of us. So grab that and make yourself comfortable. And we're gonna start, like I said, doing a bit of breathing. I'm gonna first catch up with the comments. Hi, Brandon, welcome in the US. Welcome, Jay. I've been doing a bit of a recap about what we discussed yesterday, and I know that you were here yesterday. So yeah, but basically, we're going to be now transitioning into a more relaxed state of being and to work more with the subconscious mind. So you're just in time to start we're going to start now the more experiential part of the session. So you're just in time for the breathing ceremony and the deep meditation that I'm going to be leading. So to take us out of me blah blah blahing and the conscious mind, and to start getting a bit in touch to what's going on for each of you, here we're going to do a bit of breathing, and I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. You can also soften your gaze if that feels better. Make yourself comfortable. Make sure the spine is aligned, supporting you nicely. And we're going to start by taking a few deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth a few times if that feels right. And I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness to the abdominal area, the muscles around the rib cage, the chest, all the muscles involved in breathing. And as you make each breath a bit deeper and a bit longer, allow the inhalations to become deeper and to allow the air, the fresh air, the fresh energy to go deep into the belly, allowing the muscles around the abdominal area to soften, to relax, to expand with each inhalation, and coming back to neutral with each exhalation, letting it all out. You can take a few deep exhalations through the mouth, dropping the shoulders, allowing the body to relax. Anything that you need to let go of, any tension, any stress, any thoughts that are not relevant to this session. Making each inhalation and each exhalation a bit deeper and a bit longer. And as we slow down the rhythm of the breath and we focus on that belly breathing, allowing the air to go all the way deep into the lower abdomen, like babies breathe. We're letting the body know that it is safe to be here, that it is safe to relax, that it is okay to go into that healing and repairing mode. And we're coming out of that fight or flight state that very often we find ourselves in this busy world. Breathing is a great way to communicate with the body, with the nervous system. And if we are in fight or flight, under the stress response, it's very difficult to engage with the subconscious mind. It's very difficult to go deep within, not to mention any healing or any transformation. We're going to be in survival mode, right? So we are letting the body know through our breath that everything is fine, that we are safe here. And now we're going to do one of my favorite breathing techniques, which is called coherent breathing. So we're going to breathe in to a count of 6 and breathe out for a count of 6. We're going to do this a few times at your own pace and at your own speed. Extending those inhalations and exhalations to a count of 6. Continuing to allow the muscles involved in breathing to relax, to move freely with each breath as you continue to count in for 6, out for 6. You can put a hand on the chest and a hand on the belly if that feels right, to become more aware of the muscles involved and how they move. Beautiful. And allowing your breath to return to its normal speed, to its normal pace. Just letting it flow freely. This is one of my favorite breathing techniques because it takes us into, I think it's 5.5, an average of 5.5 breaths per minute, which is the therapeutic zone. So again, it takes us out of that fight or flight and into that relaxation mode, letting the body know that it is safe, that it can go into that healing mode. So you can do this anytime you need. We've done it for a couple of minutes here, but this is something that you can do for 15, 20 minutes if that feels right. They even have on YouTube, for example, they have like a background music with bells that indicate the end of the 6 seconds and in the in breath and the out breath. So you can just listen to it and flow with that rhythm. Is really, really, really good. Really, really good to take us into that parasympathetic state. So this is always nice before you do any meditation, before you do any self-reflection or any inner work, to start getting us into that therapeutic, safe zone. So now I'm going to invite you to join me in this fire ceremony. So grab your candle. I have one with the Archangel Michael here that also was blessed by the nuns at a convent in London. So it's very special. I also have this other tube. So the idea of the fire ceremony is that we are engaging again more with the subconscious mind. We're not trying to rationalize. We're not trying to think about what the problem is and why I do this to myself. Why do I sabotage myself? We're just getting into that connection with ourselves. We listen to our hearts more. We connect with our souls. We relax, and the brain, the subconscious mind, can start processing that something is happening. So the way I like to do fire ceremonies is first of all setting intentions. So I'm going to invite you, if you have toothpicks or small pieces of paper handy, you can do, if you have a toothpick or maybe a twig that you picked up in the garden or in a park, I'm going to invite you to set intentions. First of all, we're going to set intentions for what you want to leave behind, for what you want to let go of. And here I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and continue with that deep breathing and see what comes to your awareness. It might be a word, it might be a problem that or a challenge you're facing, it might be an emotion that you're ready to let go. And when you're ready, you're going to blow into the toothpick, setting the intention to let that go in a way, in the best and highest way for you. So you're not thinking about the how, you're not thinking about the details, you're not thinking about the steps you're going to take. You're just setting the intention. For example, I don't feel very confident. I always mess up in relationships. I always sabotage my work. Or maybe anger is coming to you, or fear. And breathe out for as long as you need. If you have small pieces of paper, you can also write it down. So for example, you can write down anger. I would recommend small pieces of paper for convenience. So you can write down a word. And again, same thing. You're going to set the intentions. All this anger, I don't know where it's coming from, but I know it's really hurting me. I don't want it in my system. And take as long as you need. And the idea, I'm lighting up the candle now. The idea is with each of those pieces, you just see it burn. And that's the beauty of it, that when you have set such a strong intention into a small piece of paper or into a small piece of wood, and you're seeing it burn, and you're seeing it transform into ashes, the limbic brain, the subconscious mind, is understanding that something is changing, that something is transforming. Shamans have been, and ancient traditions around the world have been doing fire ceremonies for millennia. So powerful, so powerful. I always like to say a prayer beforehand. Like I said, today I have the Archangel Michael candle with me. So yeah, so if that feels right, you can also say a prayer, ask for guidance. You know, if you're facing a particular challenge where you need is answers, where you don't know what to do, where you need to make a decision, you can ask for guidance. Maybe you don't even know what you need to let go of, but you're asking for guidance, right? So setting that intention. You can bring elements of maybe pieces you've picked up from nature, leaves or twigs, stones, and see what they represent. Get creative. Get creative. So as you can see, I'm in my office. I don't need a big space for this. Obviously, if you can do a bonfire outside in the woods, that's absolutely amazing. And if you can gather with a group of like-minded people and hold hands together and set intentions together, that is absolutely amazing. And if you have the opportunity, I would definitely recommend you to do it. But I'm in my office, a normal average room, sitting at a desk, and you can perfectly do it like that. You don't need a lot of paraphernalia, but bring anything you need to that makes you feel that represents for you that you're setting very strong intentions. And now we're going to do the same, but this time with what you want to attract. So we did the first round with what you want to let go of. And this time, set the intentions of what you want to attract. So same idea. You might want to grab a toothpick or a small piece of paper and say, I don't know, abundance, my soulmate, anything that comes to your awareness. And I would invite you to close your eyes and see what comes up, because the magic of it is that when you're not consciously thinking about it, some things might start coming up to the surface that you weren't expected. And that's what's needed today, to allow yourself to be surprised. And just look at it being transformed into ashes. I also have a bit of Palo Santo here, or if you have sage, if you want to cleanse the room first or yourself, like feel free to add any elements that feel good for you. So in a couple of minutes, we're going to move on to the guided meditation. Obviously, when you do this, you want to make sure that you have as long as you need to do it until it feels complete. So take your time, or if you feel that it's right to just continue doing this and maybe you want to catch up with the meditation when I upload the recording, that's perfectly fine as well. But this is something that I really love to do. You can also coordinate it with the moon, with the full moon, or with the new moon. Do one for different seasons. This is something that I did a lot of when I was doing my shamanic energy healing training. And it was great because I felt like I was living in ceremony all the time, because we had to do so many of these things. And I have to say that it was really, really powerful. And a lot of stuff came up that I wasn't expecting, because, yeah, again, you're letting a deeper part of yourself speak. So this is something, again, another tool, another technique that you have for your toolbox. Feel free to keep the candle on for the rest of the session if that feels right, or turn it off. I think I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna be leading the meditation and I want to be thinking about smoke or anything like that. I'm just catching up with the comments before we move into the meditation. Right. Okay. So some people very happy in the US, some people not so happy. So yeah, Brian is saying, I'm letting go of panic and overwhelm and anger. Absolutely. Anything that is coming up for you guys, just release it, release it, release it, release it. Wonderful. Okay, my love. So now I'm going to invite you to make yourself comfortable. For the meditation, you can sit down or lie down, whatever works better for you. Let me see if I can find some background music. So yeah, the rest of this session is going to be all about relaxing and just following the meditation along. I made you work harder yesterday, I think, with lots of questions and moments for self-reflection and the tapping and all that. Today is more like we're going deep within, and yeah, both approaches very useful, but yeah. Now for the rest of the session, you're in for a treat. So okay. So hopefully you should be able to hear the music, but not in an overpowering way. If that is the case, please let me know. And I'm going to invite you to make yourself comfortable, sit down or lie down, whatever works better for you. Maybe put out the candle so you don't have to be worrying about that during the meditation. And when you're ready, you can close your eyes and bring your awareness back to the breath. Going back to that deep belly breathing, allowing the muscles in the body to move freely with each breath. And taking deeper and longer inhalations and exhalations each time. Slowing down the rhythm of the breath. Entering more and more that state of relaxation, seeing how the body relaxes more and more and more. Seeing the muscles around the face relaxing. Corners of the mouth softening, maybe even drawing a gentle smile. Shoulders dropping, letting go of any weight that might have been carrying. The spine is aligned. I want to move the spine a little bit, stretch it. The chest, the diaphragm, the lower belly, moving freely with each breath. Arms resting each side of the body. Maybe your hands are on your lap, maybe facing upwards. If you feel like being in that receivership mode, maybe just hanging each side of the body, whatever feels comfortable for you, whatever feels right. Legs feeling heavy and grounding you into the floor, resting and relaxed. Planting your feet on the floor if you're sitting down. And being aware of that connection to the ground. And now visualize a torrent of pure white light coming all the way from the center of the earth towards your feet. And you feel really grounded and really rooted into the earth, like you had cords of white light or roots of white light, like a tree. And allowing this torrent of pure white light to come up through the feet, up through the legs, up through the spine, opening up and energizing all the energy centers, all the energy meridians. Preparing the body for the energy work. Starting to upgrade your state of being. And you feel how this energy reaches the top of your head and it forms a bubble of white light. And you see yourself stepping into this bubble of white light and taking a deep breath. Let it be your vehicle. Let it take you higher and higher, up, 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 up. Out of the room you're in, out of the building you're in, out of the building or the surface you're in, into the sky, into the clouds, going up, 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 up. Looking down and seeing how everything becomes very small, like when you're on a plane and all the cars, the houses, everything becomes tiny as you elevate yourself more and more and more and more and more and more. Leaving the clouds behind you, leaving the earth behind you, and into the start galaxy now. Going through different layers of the universe, different stars, different constellations. Continue to go up, 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 becoming more and more energy and less matter, elevating yourself, feeling lighter and lighter as you continue to go up, 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 up. Until you reach a place where everything is pure white light. All you can see is bright white light, but it is a very pleasant experience to be here. You may even feel the tingling of this energy against your energy body. The energy here is of unconditional love, the highest frequency energy one could ever experience. Here we are one with God, with the creator of all that is. We are one with the universe. We are one with one another. We are all one. We are all connected through this field of white light. And from here, we can heal. We can create. We can transform what is no longer serving us. There are infinite potentials. Anything is possible. We can tune into any potentials you choose. And just being here is healing, breathing in this unconditional love, that sense of connectedness. So enjoy merging yourself with this field of bright white light. And we're going to start by asking God, the creator of all that is, to send a torrent of healing energy and unconditional love to everyone here doing this meditation, and everyone doing the recording later. And like a shower of light, let it enter your body through the head and wash it away, any old energies, beliefs, emotions, stories that are no longer serving you. Any stagnant energy in the body, any stress, any tension. Anything that doesn't belong, anything that is not in your highest interest. And let it all be flushed out through the feet. and transmute it into unconditional love, sent back to the light of God. If there are any parts of the body that require more attention today, if you feel any tension in particular, or any discomfort in any parts of the body, you can direct this torrent of healing energy towards them. Any thoughts that are not relevant to this session, let them be washed away, transmuted into unconditional love. Beautiful. And I'm going to invite you to bring to your awareness a challenge you're facing, an area of your life where you feel stuck, a belief you are aware of that is limiting and disempowering, a recurring negative thought that you want to leave behind. And if nothing comes to mind, just set the intention that whatever needs to be released and healed will be released and healed today. And we're going to ask God, the creator of all that is, to show you, each one of you, the root of this issue. And that might be a part of yourself that lives within you, that holds an old story or a role or a label. It could be a memory. It could be an image. It could be a short clip. It could be a very old emotion that you have experienced before in the past. Let God, the creator of all that is, show you. When did you make this decision? What events need to be healed? What is the root of this problem? Just give it a bit of time with no expectations and no judgment. If there are different events or memories coming up, ask yourself, when was the first time I felt this way? When was the first time I experienced something similar? When was the day when I made that disempowering decision? And whatever is coming up for you, whether that's an image or a part of yourself, maybe like a clip of a movie, I'm going to invite you to look at it like an external observer. You're not engaging, you're not becoming, if there is a younger self coming up for you, the inner child, a part of yourself, you're not becoming that part of yourself. You're not associating with her or with him. You're just looking like an external observer. And I'm going to invite you to step into that image or into that movie, or to get closer to that part of yourself and start having a conversation with them. Again, very important, you're not associating with her, you're not becoming her or him. You're just having a conversation. You're an external observer. And ask her or him what is going on for them. What took them to make this decision or this belief? What led them to take on that role? And ask them what they need from you. What do they need to change their mind? What do they need to let go of that belief or that decision and rewrite the story? And here you can get creative. We are in the field. We are with God, the creator of all that is. You can visualize God sending healing energy to that part of yourself or to that younger you. You can visualize yourself doing some tapping on her or him if you're familiar with this. If this is something that you normally do. You can direct energy with a particular frequency or a particular color. They might just want to have a chat with you and express themselves. They might want to speak to someone else and express themselves like they couldn't back then. They might want to go somewhere else and experience something different. Just let them guide you. Don't try to guess. Let them guide you in this process and just be there for that younger you or that part of yourself. Beautiful. Now say your final words to your younger self. Maybe they felt a really big release and healing, and now they see things with a different perspective. That's great. They might feel that the work is not complete, which is perfectly reasonable and perfectly fine. Just let them know that you'll come back again to help them a bit more. And there is no rush, that you will be here for them, and they can take as long as they need. Just let them know that you are here for them. And taking a deep breath into the heart, opening up the heart space to invite this part of yourself in. Reuniting. Merging in one, letting her or him know that there will always be space for them here. They will always welcome. And bringing the awareness to the field of white light where we started this healing and the energy work. Taking a few more moments to breathing that energy of unconditional love, that sense of connectedness. Giving a bit of time to integrate the healing, the inner work we've done, the deep inner work we've done here. Let the tingling touch your energy body. And taking a deep breath, we're going to start making our way back down the same way we came up here, through different layers of the universe, seeing different stars, different constellations. Coming down, 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 starting to become a bit heavier. Back to the earth, through the clouds, through the sky. Coming down, 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 back to the building you're in, back to the space you're in, back to the room you're in. And finally landing back in the physical body. And bringing special awareness to your feet. And taking a few moments here to connect to those cords of white light or roots of white light, grounding you deeply into Mother Earth. Very important after we do Theta healing, that we take a few moments to ground the healing into the physical body, into the physical plane, into the physical reality, anchoring the changes, the transformation that will arise from this deep work we've done into the physical reality, into the physical body. Slowly starting to make any movements that feel right for the body. Maybe slowly wiggling the fingers, the toes, or taking a full body stretch if that feels right. And starting to bring the awareness to the room you're in, opening your eyes and bringing yourself back to this space, to the screen, to all the wonderful people and all the beautiful souls gather together here today. And when you're ready, meeting me back in the screen. Take your time, there is no rush. I'm going to turn off the music now. If you want to remain in this relaxing and connected state or in any relaxing position that you might be in, feel free to do so. I would love to hear how that went. I would love to hear your insights, your journey. We are going to wrap up with a bit of a recap of what we've done today and how you can use it as a tool, as a DIY healing and personal growth, which was a lot about the idea of this 3-day immersion and these masterclasses. The reason why I'm doing this is because I will be going on maternity leave early next year, around the end of February. So I wanted to share with you guys my favorite energy healing techniques, my favorite practices and tools. So anyone who wants to embark on or continue their healing and personal transformation journey can do it while I'm busy doing other type of work next year, because I won't be back until 2026. So to recap about what we have done today, also some people might have joined halfway throughout the session. We were talking a lot about the subconscious mind and how the deep inner work happens when we engage the subconscious mind, which is the where we have all the programs, all the software that run the show for us, that run our lives in the background. So we started doing a bit of breathing. I would recommend that anytime you do meditation or healing, or if you're doing a session, I would definitely recommend that you do a bit of breathing first. So what we did about extending the length of the breath, so slowing down the rhythm of the breath, breathing deeply into the belly breathing, and also the breathing in for 6 and out for 6, to get into that therapeutic zone or coherent breathing. That's going to take you out of the fight or flight response, which these days we are very often stressed just because of the busyness of everyday life. We can be in that sympathetic activated mode all the time. So doing a bit of breathing, and especially that one, the breathing in for 6, out for 6, you can even find videos that have like a bell or a gong to indicate the length of the breath, and do it for a little bit until you feel that you're settling, until you feel that you're in a more relaxed state, more connected with yourself, and it's not just the monkey mind running the show. We did a fire ceremony, which you saw it can be very, very easy with a candle. You can do anytime. It's really powerful for setting intentions, especially if you say a prayer beforehand or if you're asking for guidance. Again, we start to get in touch with that deeper part of ourselves. And the subconscious mind is seeing that there is transformation. It's not just the conscious mind talking. The brain is understanding that change is starting to happen. The transformation is starting to happen when you see that those pieces of paper or those toothpicks being transformed into ashes. And then the meditation we did is based on Theta healing. So all the journey we do up there to connect with God, with the creator of all that is also designed to take us into a Theta brainwave. That's why it's called Theta healing, which means that we can more easily access the subconscious mind, which is what we have been talking about the whole talk. So it takes us to that space where we can interact with the subconscious mind, where we are connected to God, to the creator of all that is. And it is really, 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 really powerful. It's also based on the idea or the discipline matrix reimprinting, which is in addition to emotional freedom technique or tapping by Carl Dawson. I would definitely recommend that you check his resources out. He has a couple of books on matrix reimprinting, and the technique is truly wonderful. And again, it's based on the idea that these parts of ourselves or these old stories or events live in the field. And if we go to that point in time when we made the disempowering decision and we rewrite that story, and please note that we're not trying to change the past, or we're not trying to erase what happened or anything like that. All we are trying to do is helping those parts of ourselves to make a different decision, or to see things, to see what happened with a different perspective, to heal, to release an emotion. And that's what we're trying to do. And obviously, because this is a group setting and it was a guided meditation, is not the full experience, let's say. So matrix reimprinting will be about interacting with those parts of ourselves like we did in this meditation. But when we get to a very positive state, so what I will be doing if I were working with someone one-on-one, would be guiding the process all along and talking to that part of itself. Okay, what do they need? What do they want to do next? What do they need now? And eventually, when you get to a very positive state and your experience, and you feel like you have cleared the emotional intensity, we reimprint that kind of like new memory or that new state of being. So we didn't do that last section of the process, but this is something. Yeah, Kelsey wrote it in perfectly in the comments. Matrix reimprinting by Carl Dawson, and you can follow the step-by-step process. You can take as long as you need, and you can do that on your own. Actually, sometimes I've worked with clients and we've done a session, and once they get the hang of it, it's like, oh, there was this memory, or there was this belief, and I managed to track it to this event, and I just went there and talked to her and we wrote the whole thing. This is also very similar to the idea of soul retrieval. The shamans talk about soul retrieval, about bringing those parts of ourselves back to the energy field, right? Those parts of ourselves that experience trauma or fear or anger and kind of dissociate, or because there was too much pain, because there weren't space for them. And it's about bringing them back again. So kind of reimprinting, similar to the idea of shadow work, and going really deep into those parts of ourselves that carry the old stories, the unprocessed emotions. So you might see the also internal family system, the idea of doing that inner part work. So you might see that a lot of disciplines talk about the idea, but from a slightly different angle. For me, the key is always to talk to the subconscious mind. And for that, theta healing and the internal visualization, again, because images are the language of the subconscious mind, is what, in my experience, works better. So if any of you are interested in this work, I have a lot more information on my profile and my website. I've been mentioning that if anyone wants to do this work one-on-one and join my main program, which is 3 months, my Reclaim Your Power healing coaching program. Next week, I'm going to be onboarding my last few clients, the last few slots I have, because taking into account the Christmas break, that will take us into late January, beginning of February, and then I will be wrapping up and probably not doing many one-on-one sessions before I go on maternity leave. So so feel free to check that out if that resonates, because I'm not going to be offering again until 2026, and I don't know when I'm God knows what will happen around then. But I wanted to share with you guys the step-by-step process that you can do. It's a DIY. It's the DIY for healing and personal growth. So I'm gonna catch up with the comments. Christina saying, very emotional, a lot of anxiety from my youth. likely takes many more visits to my inner child to help heal. Yeah, absolutely. Something I forgot to say, if for whatever reason nothing came to you, nothing was showing, and you're thinking, why am I doing wrong? No, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just that it can take a bit of time to adjust to the technique. Like Christina is saying, of course, depending on what event came up for you, what part of yourself came up for you. I don't know exactly how long it was, like 20 something minutes, the meditation, but a 20 something minute meditation might not be long. You might need to have a much deeper conversation with yourself. It might require a few visits, releasing a lot of anxiety, anger, all those emotions. So yeah, don't think that you did anything wrong. It's just that it can take a bit of time. I'm seeing a few donations already. Thank you so much, Brian, Kelsey, Diana. Thank you so. I don't know if your name is with two N's. I don't know if it's pronounced Diana or Diana. So apologies for that. But thank you so much, everyone, for your donations. Very welcome and very much appreciated. And your lovely comments, your feedback, your reviews. I really, really appreciate it. So we're coming to the end of the session today, but we still have tomorrow. We still have tomorrow to wrap up this healing immersion. What we're going to focus on tomorrow is on making space and unlocking and giving energy to the parts of yourself that carry the wisdom, the intuition, the talents, the uniqueness. So there's going to be a guided journey for that, so you can get guidance. I'm going to be talking about following your higher self or your soul's purpose, how to access that higher guidance so you can make decisions that are in your best interest. This is really, really important, especially when it comes to making decisions and you're stuck, you don't know what to do. Every time you follow your intuition, your soul, you can't be wrong with that. And actually, I found that when I have listened to that and I have made decisions based on that guidance, the results have been sometimes unexpected, and life has flown for me in a much better way than if I had tried to, rationalize or follow if it made logical sense or not. So we're going to be working on that tomorrow, because one of the mistakes that I see a lot of people do is that they focus a lot on healing the weeding part of the building the garden example, on the weeding, the clearing. But all that empty space, all that space that we're making, we need to bring back those other parts of ourselves. We need to reconnect with our essence and energize that, right? So that's what we're going to be focusing on tomorrow. So I hope to see you again, same time, 1:30 UK time. Am I forgetting to say something? Probably. There was probably something that I was meant to say and I forgot, but it will come to me if it's important. Anyway, if you have any questions, if you want to share any insights, feel free to drop a line in the comments. I will, this session has been recorded, so it will be available to you to come back to it anytime if you want to do the meditation again. Even if you're tackling the same challenge or the same problem, you might get different insights, you might get different ideas, different kind of healing. That's the beauty of it. So so that's the idea, that you can revisit these sessions as many times as you need. And I would definitely recommend exploring more the Matrix Reprinting books, because you will have a lot of information on how to do it on your own. You can follow along this video again, but this is something that you can do anytime you need. So I think everyone is very chilled and relaxed today. Normally people feel that way after the meditations, and today is being a lot about that deeper connection with ourselves. So I hope you enjoyed the session. You can still catch up with yesterday's video. It's in my YouTube channel already, and I will see you again tomorrow. So we're going to wrap up for today. Sending much love to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and make sure you follow me on Inside Timer for notifications on new content, new sessions like this, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.